Go. Let's get it. We're waiting. One more time. Woo! Woo! And y'all know what we got to do. We got to open up those pores. We got to open them up. We got to wake up. It's time to wake up because you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's Wednesday the 30th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Woo, good morning, good morning, good morning. If y'all know where y'all at, if you don't, I'm going to just tell you right off the bat, it is our bottom line, the 6 o'clock hour show that we rock out until we done with all of the clips. That's right. Thank you guys for giving me a chance to get that camera straight. It's your boy, Bugatti NYC. Hope everybody had a fantastic evening. I hope you slept well, because I'm going to tell y'all, I know I did, like a baby. Kept on rolling over like, what time is it? What time is it? Is it time to get started? Yes, 3 o'clock in the morning popped up, make sure I pulled everything, and we got a lot of updated information, you guys. So without any further ado, let me see who's in the comments. I want to see where you guys are chiming in from, because it's time for our bottom line. Who we got in the building this morning? We got VIP Auction Group who said hi. What's good, VIP Auction Group? We got Rebecca. We got Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca? Chiming in from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Of course, we got Batty Lynn up in here, another native of Detroit, D-Town, always in the building showing mad love. Really appreciate you guys, because y'all already know what we got to do. It's time to get into it. We got a lot to go over. We got follow-ups. We have news from yesterday. We got new stuff going on. And we actually have a few words from our President Trump. And we're going to speak on the first 100 days. So without any further ado, because I got so much in the clip, let's get into these titles. Who else we got up in there? What's good, Casey? What's good? Hope everybody's good. What's up with the chat? Says Casey. Let's not waste any time, you guys. I'm excited. It's 2 more days to the weekend. It's hump day. Let's get into this title. Let's go. What do we got here? We got Trump. The first 100 days. Haha, yes, 100 days as of today. Everybody's asking what's been going on, what's the progress, how's he doing? We're going to get into that. Want to know what you guys think, but we still got more to go because we got other stuff in the subtitles, which is lawmakers to examine UAP sightings at U.S. military bases. If you guys do not know what UAPs are, they're talking about drones. They're talking about unidentified flying objects, not UFOs, but unidentified aircrafts that's basically being manned by certain individuals. We're going to keep on moving because we got another one in the subtitles, which is empty shelves to hit the U.S. in waves amid trade war with China. They're trying to say that because we're in this recession situation and a big argument war with trade going back and forth with China, that means that we are going to start feeling it on the shelves of the supermarkets. You guys, we're going to get into that. And last but not least, we've got Spain. Yes, sadly, I've got a really bad story with Spain. We have not been keeping up with this, but it's a brand new breaking story. Something that we just found out today is that Spain is declaring a state of emergency as power and blackouts continue throughout the entire country. Yes, blackouts, road signs, all of a sudden your lights might go out in your house. Things like that are definitely happening in Spain. Want to get into that stuff. We got so much to get into, you guys. I hope y'all having a fantastic morning. If you're here under the sound of my voice, if you already done it, go ahead and like so more people to get over here. But me, I'm ready to get to work. So let's get into this first title that we have here with our president, basically on the lawn, White House lawn, speaking about his first 100 days and where he feels his strong points have been for the last 100 days. Without any further ado, let's go, you guys. Good morning. Let's go. Let's go.
What would God happen in the first 100 days? What would it be?
Well, I think we've done everything or it's in the process of being done. For instance, the border is in great shape. 99.9% came out again today. 99.9. That I would say that was my number one thing. The economy would be certainly right up there, and I think it's doing great. We were losing billions and billions of dollars a day with trade. And now I have that down to a very low level, and soon we're going to be making a lot of money. We're going to be reducing people's taxes, and we're going to get the big, look, a very important element that we're working on now, maybe more important than anything with the border in good shape, is the fact that we want to get, and very importantly, the big, beautiful new deal. If we get that done, that's the biggest thing, what's happening in Congress right now. And I think we're going to get it done. We have great Republican support. If the Democrats blocked it, you'd have a 60% tax increase. I don't think that's going to happen. We have great support from Republicans. So the big, beautiful deal, that's what we want, the bill. I think the next period of time, I think my biggest focus will be on Congress with the deal that we're working on. That'll be the biggest bill in the history of our country in terms of tax cuts and regulation cuts and other things.
The Canadian election.
As Pope, I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one choice. No, I don't know. I have no preference. I must say we have a cardinal that happens to be out of a place called New York who's very good. So we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. President, you are doing so much for Africa. You are the first president that in the first 100 days focused on Africa for the first time in the history of this country. Are you planning maybe in the future visit the continent?
Sure, I would do that. I would do that, absolutely.
All right, so that's what he's basically saying, that his achievements are, he feels like these were basically his strongest points in his first 100 days. Now, let's see what the economy's talking about. Let's see what people are talking about, and let's see what the reflection is in the actual market for the first 100 days. Let's go, you guys.
As President Trump reaches his 100th day in office Tuesday, one of his signature hallmarks of his second term has been picking up the pen to sign more than 135 executive orders, a big increase from the 33 he signed during the same period of his first term.
I think what's notable is he's done almost all of that without Congress, all on his own, really stretching or pushing the power of the presidency beyond what had been its limits.
Professor Eric Schickler, co-chair of UC Berkeley's Institute of Governmental Studies, says President Trump's actions in the past months, from declaring an energy emergency to increasing tariffs, mass deportations, and eliminating government agencies, could have long-lasting impacts. On Monday, the White House posted a report on its border security efforts over 100 days, but there are signs that his aggressive actions might be raising concerns even among supporters. A Fox News poll shows that while he had 55% approval of his border security efforts, more people disapproved of his handling of immigration and deportations, foreign policy, the economy, and tariffs. On Monday, a Latino Community Foundation poll showed Trump losing support among Latino independents, a group that had shown increased support for Trump in his re-election.
Even 28% of Latino voters who cast a ballot for Trump in 2024 feel that he has gone too far.
On the economy, inflation has decreased from 3% to 2.4% during his first 100 days, but instability in the markets due to Trump's steep tariff hikes and trade war is raising concerns even among loyal Republicans.
But I think generally speaking, as Republicans, we're very happy to see what the president's done in terms of immigration and protecting the border.
John Dennis, chair of the California GOP County Chairs Association, says it's those economic issues that could fracture the party.
If companies start getting a big impact, then and unemployment follows that, then you're going to start seeing some pushback from rank and file Republicans.
Okay, let's go ahead because we got more to stack. Y'all know how we do it in the beginning. We get stuff to talk about. We stack the deck first so that I can come to the comments and have something to speak about. We got that already going, right? We got what he thinks and we got what they think. Ha ha. Now, let's get to the ports because somebody was very smart yesterday in their comments and they was not playing with me. Somebody said, yeah, Bugatti, they're talking about the economy's doing all good and everything like that, but you can really tell by what's going on at the ports. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But then I'm like, you know what? They're right. Because if the ports are not being supplied with things coming in, that is showing a big difference in what's going on in the economy, right? Now we're going to get to the ports. We're going to break this thing down today. That's what we're doing today, y'all. We're going to break this thing all the way down. We're going all the way to stores. We're going to pricing. You like to talk about money. Y'all like to talk about money.
Your future is at your fingertips.
That's what we're talking about today.
Take advantage of the flexibility and
China, again, denying it is in negotiations with the United States to resolve the ongoing trade war as members of the Trump administration insist the U.S. is better positioned to win that economic battle after President Trump imposed a massive 145% tariff on imports from China.
And that standoff now hitting closer and closer to home. Gene Soroka, the executive director of the Port of Los Angeles, the #1 container port in the Western Hemisphere, warns that difficult decisions are ahead as the port could see a 35% decrease in arriving cargo should the trade war continue.
Gene Soroka, executive director of the Port of LA, is here with us in studio. Gene, thank you for being with us tonight. Liberation Day, of course, was April 2nd. When you talk about the global supply chain, nothing is instant. There's a lag. So here we are about a month out. Where do things stand and what are these difficult decisions that you foresee in the weeks ahead?
Micah, we're starting to see the imports lighten up. In fact, by next week, as Cher just reported, we'll be down by about 35% year over year. Effectively, imports from China have been shut down because the cost is now 2.5 times more than it was for a product just last month.
So how does the president's 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs impacting orders and shipments and traffic?
While a little bit of a breather, Cher, it's not a long runway in our industry.
Yeah.
Typically, importers here in the U.S. put their orders into factories in Asia about 3 to 4 months ahead of a ship even leaving, coming our way. So that's not going to change a lot of behavior. And still, it's 10% more than it was last month with those 75 or so countries, especially those in Southeast Asia. We talk a lot about China, which is on everybody's mind now, but it's countries like Vietnam,
Taiwan,
Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, which also trade a lot with us.
Well, let's put this.
All right, y'all. So y'all got it. Y'all got the gaggle. You got the follow-up. Now we got the shipments. We got the trade. Okay, where we going right now is we got to keep on stacking this deck to keep it making sense. We're going to go to the empty shelves because the wave is coming, right? It starts off at the trade, then the shipments stop coming at the ports, and now what happens is empty shelves. Come on, we got to keep it going. You guys like talking about money. Y'all get into this every day. That's what we starting off with today because y'all like to talk about the money, 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 money because y'all tired of spending and y'all want to know when things are going to change. I'm showing you right off top. Let's go. Do me a favor if you guys appreciate the content. We stacking the deck before I get to the comments. We're going to keep on moving. Double tap that screen. I know y'all like, where's the craziness? This is the craziness. It gets worse. Watch. We're going to keep on going.
Consumer sentiment plummeting to one of the lowest levels on record amid a fierce trade war. Retailers are warning of empty shelves reminiscent of the pandemic, with the 145% tariff on nearly all Chinese imports in place. Yesterday, President Trump said he's ready to make a deal with President Xi.
Have you spoken to him since the tariffs? When did you last
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times.
When did that happen and what did you discuss?
I'll let you know at the appropriate time. Let's see if we can make a deal.
Meantime, major ports like the Port of Los Angeles are seeing a steep drop in imports from China. And joining me now, we have Lorianne LaRocco, global supply chain reporter for CNBC Business News. Lori is also the author of the book Trade War, Containers Don't Lie, Navigating the Bluster. Lori, big welcome to you. So when it comes to the prospect of empty store shelves, which products could be hit hardest and should consumers be worried? I mean, are you seeing a rush to buy certain things right now?
we really shouldn't see a rush because we actually have the items in. It's going to hit us in waves, Alex. And this is what we're going to kind of see with the timeline. Starting in June, this is where you're going to start seeing, those items that we love to get really cheap online. Those are the items that are going to get hit first. And those are like the fast fashion, products we might get on Amazon. And the reason why is that smaller businesses, they can't afford to have front loaded, right, all of these items in to beef up their inventory. Then starting in July, this is critical because this is the back to school time, right, where parents are going into the stores to get their kids their school clothes. So you're looking at backpacks, you're looking at notebooks, you're going to be looking at all of these items that some have been brought in, but there has been a major pause when you're looking at the amount of items that have been brought in, and people are just really uncertain, if you will. Is it going to consumer going to buy? We have seen a pullback on a multitude of different economic indicators in terms of that hesitancy, and without really any definitive acknowledgement of what's going on, we're going to see this pullback. And then in addition to the fast fashion and the school clothes, also electronics.
Shein, school clothes, and what you guys are already seeing happen as far as like with Amazon. Keeping it moving. A little more she got.
Because the connectivity, right, of the inventory of the supply chain.
Yeah. I'm going to get to that in one.
Okay, that's it. Now, we already broke all of it down from the ports, coming inside, right? From what's happening to the shelves. Now, guess what's about to happen, you guys? We're still on the same topic, so I got time for your comments. Trust me, keep on stacking them comments. I got you all covered. Right here, we got the UPS is going to cut 20,000 jobs as to try to reduce what's happening at Amazon. Because think about it. Boom, 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 boom. It's like dominoes. Once one thing falls, the next thing goes down, right? We're going to keep it moving, you guys. Yes, whoever knows about UPS and what's going on over there, this is brand new information that we just got in.
Out west. Lots to talk about tonight. The shipping company UPS announcing earlier today that it plans to cut 20,000 jobs this year, in addition to closing 73 of its facilities. The company says the decision is due in part to an agreement with Amazon to reduce the volume of packages by 50%. Amazon is UPS's largest customer, but UPS's CEO says that Amazon's business is not profitable for the company. UPS also says that tariffs and economic insecurity are partially to blame for the downsizing as well. Barron's Al Root is here to break this down. All right, 20,000 jobs, Al, that's massive. How did UPS...
Don't need to hear it all, but you know what? Matter of fact, let's see how they got there. Let's see how they got there. Then I'm going to come to the comments. I'm really trying to get to you guys, but let's see how they got there.
Get in this hole. Why isn't Amazon profitable for them?
A couple of things. I mean, Amazon's very difficult. Amazon's very large, so to some extent, it's market power, right? Amazon is pretty much the largest e-commerce company on the globe or in the Western world, and it can demand relatively favorable pricing. You know, FedEx doesn't deal with UPS. FedEx doesn't deal with Amazon now. UPS is choosing to take to leave some of Amazon's business off the table. And Amazon also has its own internal, very sophisticated logistics network, so it's shifting some of the volume over there. So some of this is the natural ebb and flow of business, but it's very big. And you asked, how did UPS get itself into this position? I mean, remember, we got to go all the way back to COVID. You know, before COVID, before an e-commerce boom, you know, UPS is doing $75 billion in sales. By 2022, that's like $100 billion in sales. Amazon's, 10 to 15% of the total revenue. And then, like Carol, the CEO Carol Tomé said today, it's not as good as the rest of UPS's business, so they're stepping away from some of it. So they're stepping.
It's just like when you got a major power, they can negotiate too much with a point where the profits are not even profitable. Okay, we're sending through 100 million packages. We want our price to be blah, blah, blah. It's hard to negotiate with a multi-power like that. I'm in the comments, you guys. Here I go. Good morning. What we got? Jonathan says, we got driverless semi-trucks now. We're good. What's up, VIP? Said, hi, man. What we got? We got Charles says, empty ports. Yay, Trump, What we got here? Tony says, no, I'm sorry. That's a VIP auction. Says, Tony, My company only uses UPS because USPS is horrible. They sure are VIP. They slow as molasses. Nope says, as a racist Trump failed us. What else we got here? Dre Skyline says, I guess trucking, we going down. Freight is way down. Uday Asif says, Big Booty Johnson, nice setup. What are you talking about? Are you Lulu? Tony says, I worked at UPS, worst delivery company in the world. I know one thing. I was about to work there one summer. They told me they're going to pay me $150 a week for stacking boxes inside of a trailer. You don't need to wear a certain type of clothes because you're going to be on fire stacking them boxes because it's hot in them damn ports. I'm telling you right now. In those warehouses, it's hot as HELL hockey sticks. I'm back in the comments, you guys. What y'all got? Hey, everyone, come from Maine Arbor. What's up, Maine Arbor? Good looking. Uday says, oh yeah, you wildin'. What else we got? Come on, I want to read some more stuff. Nice drip. Good looking. Thank you for the compliment. Okay, USA says Mark. Max Power says, take it or leave it. That's a tip. That's what he said. That's what they said. AG says, what we got over here from Bill Andy? Good morning, Bill Andy. Max Power, no spamming. If Bill Andy says it again, Max Power, you can get put out of here. I'm telling you right now, if Bill Andy says it one more time, Max Power, you're gone. Tony U, plus you buy from China and take it 3 weeks to receive it. Plus, you buy something from China, it takes 3 weeks to receive it. Peter says Trump caves again. Bill Andy says, we have been through worse. Okay, Bill. Tom says, okay, what we got here? We got, let's keep on going. VIP Auction Group says, I'm going to give Trump more time to negotiate before I start critiquing his performance. 100 days is 3 months. It takes time to negotiate and China needs our money. Yep, I believe you and I'm on that with you. Bill Andy says, we have been getting ripped off for decades. No one says this is going to be easy. Stick with it, everybody. We will get to the other side and be better for it. Mark says, there will be shortages. Okay, we got more from here. Dre Skyline says, we are in trouble. I says, yup, New York. Tony says, Lakers sack. Andy, good morning. That's right, y'all. That's how we do it. We run those comments down like that. Don't think that I won't get to you, especially if you're keeping on topic. We like people that stay on topic. We also like people that double tap that screen because we got enough people up in here to get more people over here. So what we do is we ask you guys to double tap the screen and then we explain ourselves because everybody else don't. When you double tap the screen, YouTube says, must be something going over there that's entertaining. And then they send up a notification and it sends more people over here. We don't ask for money because we understand it's real in the pockets and it's tough out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. But what I want to do is try to get more people over here. How do you do that, Bugatti? Because when you guys, all y'all 144, press that like button right there, YouTube says, hey, y'all probably want to go over there and see what they got going on. I won't stop the videos until we got comments in there stacked up enough so that we have something to talk about and we'll have a great show. That's how we do it because I can't do it without you. Now we want to keep on moving because 12 states, people are getting peed off about this, mostly Democratic states. They're about to sue Trump over tariffs and shipments because they're plummeting in Asia. Yes, there's people now getting peed off on our side of the coin and they're showing it. So they're talking about suing the president and it's a pretty decent amount of states. It's about 12 of them. Queued up, we're gonna go right to this. Want you guys to see what's going on with these 12 states.
Indeed. We want to bring in Fox News anchor Shannon Bream. Of course, we adore her, and here she is. The state attorneys general, I'm going to put up a map here for you. These are mostly Democrats, I would imagine, are suing Trump over tariffs. How's that going to go?
Well, they're going to the special trade court that we have here in the U.S. All of that eventually feeds through the federal courts and could get to the Supreme Court. But what they're saying is all of these trades and tariff deals, they're to the detriment of the U.S. And more importantly, they argue this is the purview of Congress, that the Constitution gives Congress the power to deal with trade and tariffs and not the executive branch. So California's got a separate one going on these trade and tariff issues as well. Just another court battle for the Trump administration to manage.
Okay, so Shannon, this story broke about 2 hours ago. The president sat down with Time magazine. It's lengthy for an interview, and there's a lot of detail in there. This is what we pulled from the questions with China. Will you call President Xi if he doesn't call you? The president says no. You won't? Nope. Has he called you? Yep. When did he call you? He's called. I don't think that's a sign of weakness on his behalf. I think about that comment, and then when he left the White House last hour, It's my sense that they've talked, but not necessarily on tariffs. That's what
I'm gonna put it like this. I think the way that he's putting out these comments right now make a lot of sense because you know that there's a lot of spin on what he says. So when you say something like that, what he said in the end meaning, we don't see that as a sign of weakness. We know that every message is gonna get to Xi. So now when he hears that, he's gonna say, okay. I probably can negotiate with him because he's still sticking to the sentiment of what I'm trying to put out there. Meaning, we want to stand strong. We want to say we're China. We want to say we don't need you. You know what I'm saying? How China really get down? We ain't stupid. We know what the HELL hockey sticks is going on over here. You guys do me a favor. Y'all appreciate the content. Double tap that screen because we got much more in the clip. This is how we do it every morning over here at Our Bottom Line. I want you guys to check out what we got coming up next from LA County. I can't believe this right here. This is one of the biggest workers union back negotiations that I've ever seen. I want you guys to take note of this because there's power in numbers. Let me tell you what happened. There was over 50,000 people that was in this union that was not going for it. And I don't even know what their cause is. Y'all can correct me with whatever I'm talking about. But what I like is the way that they got together and they got in the streets and they really made something happen. LA County Workers Union back at negotiating table. It's because for 2 days, 50,000 people, one of the biggest strikes I ever seen in my life, ever. They took over the streets and they was not playing. I want you guys to see what's going on with this because now you're talking about a strike that didn't last that long, 50,000 people walk off the job. I don't know how we're going to be able to handle something like that. Check this out, y'all.
News Channel 4 flew over this march in support of these workers. They say LA County failed to hear them out when it came to a new contract.
And new at 5, we have just learned a brand new development in negotiations between the workers and the county. NBC4's Ted Chin live for us in downtown Los Angeles with these breaking new details. Ted.
Michael Colleen, the union is calling this a major development. They say they were called back into negotiations with the county this afternoon. This is thousands of them took to the streets here in downtown Los Angeles. They say they can no longer afford what the county has been providing. The county says that it cannot afford what the workers are asking for. And caught in between is the public that depends on both.
LA.
If you're wondering why Anthony Quinn Library in East LA was closed today, look no further than the sea of purple marching through downtown Los Angeles.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Wearing union t-shirts and looks of defiance, LA County workers walked these streets today instead of to their jobs, in health, in parks, in libraries, at beaches. The strike's size captured by News Chopper 4.
Now maybe I'm going there. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be neutral, but I'm going there. Maybe if Gavin Newsom would use some of that money he was trying to give to those illegal immigrants to make sure that the state was getting what they needed, probably wouldn't have this problem. 50,000 people complaining about monetary, millions of people coming over the border, going over to LA, taking over, getting free resources and things of that nature. Okay. Could have used some of that money, huh? Let's keep it going, you guys. Let's keep going.
Zoom in and you can hear cries like that of social worker Anthony Cervantes.
I have worked tireless nights, coming home late in the evening where I'm leaving my kids to go ahead and take care, which I gladly minister and serve my kids on my caseload. You can at least take care of my family too.
The workers accuse the county of violating labor laws and paying private contractors money they should be paying them. The county CEO told NBC4's Lauren Coronado the county's budget has been pushed to the limit by wildfires, lawsuits, and the loss of federal funds.
We want a fair.
I wonder why they lost federal funds. Because they want to be a sanctuary city. Under who? Gavin Newsom. Keep on going.
Our contract too. However, we also know that we do not have an unlimited budget, even though our budget is very large.
The standoff meant closing some non-urgent health clinics, mobile health services, county libraries, and beach restrooms. The marchers today also included animal service and trash pickup workers, the county warning of delays in service across the board, but workers insisting that what's good for them will be good for everyone.
Our workers are all frontline responders. These are people, we're the safety net. We provide services for the most vulnerable citizens of Los Angeles.
Let's just get this done today so that we can get back to work tomorrow.
This makes sense, man. I ain't got no beef with them unless they trying to take their jobs and give them to some illegal migrants. I ain't got no beef with them, and I understand. I see a lot of people in the comments saying union workers make $21 an hour. What do they want? 31. I get you, but think about the cost of living in Los Angeles. It ain't cheap. I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys got to say about this. Tony Yu says, Governor nonsense. What we got? When was this? This was yesterday. VIP Auction Group says, block media. Got you. He's out of here. Yoni Cool Nate says, this is the best live channel 100. The tux is on point. Thank you so much. Jonathan Chase, Republicans, smart Americans, go USA. Jonathan Chase again, Republicans, very strong, wealthy Americans. What else we got here? Tony Yu, minimum wage is $21. And all healthcare workers, I'm guessing they want 30. I read that already. Max Power says represented by SEIU Local 721. There you go, Max Power. Thank you for staying on topic. Okay, Media says, oh, you're a bigot. Is that the one y'all want up out of here? Because I'm about to just start getting people up out of here. Wait a minute, who you said VIP? VIP said, wait a minute, let me get the VIP, what he just said just now. Okay, yeah, you the one. Media is out of here. Yo, VIP, I'm on him. You ready? You ready? You want to do it with me? You ready? Boom! Out of here. Can't say nothing. Get up out of here, media. You don't understand. We got some real serious moderators up in here. Well, we got Subaru says, Vagami, I am glad millions of brothers have awakened. There we go. That's what we're supposed to do. Jonathan Chase says, good thing of automotion is not real. American good work. Labor, very strong Americans. I love the way you guys are staying on topic. I don't want to even stop the flow right now because we are on fire up in here. Thank you guys for the way you stand on topic. Moderators, hosts, co-hosts, y'all doing y'all thing. We want to keep on going now because Trump did actually speak about trade moving forward with China and actually negotiating with countries, Asia, the decision for auto tariffs and why he's negotiating with them. And I don't know what you guys think, but I'm thinking the same thing. I got to let you guys know this straight up and down. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm a human being, and that's why we created this platform. This is the reason why I actually do believe in certain politicians for certain things. Not everything that they do is something that I like, which made it very hard for me to pick a party. So me, I run with the human race, and that's why we do this over here. So this is something that I actually agree with. I agree with tariffs. I think we have to push back against China because they're our hardest ally. They're our hardest adversary, and they've been really hard on us in many more ways than just monetary. Many more ways. Let's go, you guys. I want you guys to see this next clip coming up because this is basically President Trump right here speaking on exactly what we're talking about and why he's kind of holding strong to what's going on right here. Back on the lawn. Back on the lawn.
We just wanted to help them during this little transition, short term. And during this little, if they can't get parts, it has to do with a very small percentage. If they can't get parts, we didn't want to penalize them. And they have a 1-year period and then they have an extra year. But it's for a very, very small part of the job. Basically, they're paying 25%.
Mr. President, what's in store for your next 100 days?
What did you say exactly? And what's your message for all retailers who could do possibly the same thing?
Yeah, nothing that really, he's a good guy. I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years, and he's done a fantastic job. So I appreciated what he did.
Jeff Bezos.
How's your game?
You list the accomplishments of the administration.
Yeah. If there was one big thing you really wanted to have.
Yo, check this out. You know what's crazy about our president? You see how he just did that move right there. How's your game? All I want to, we saw that what he's about to say. We don't play clips 2 times because they're about to ask him what's his greatest accomplishment. We did that earlier. I only took that other part of that clip because it had to do with trade. It had to do with auto and why he negotiated in that category. We got to be thorough over here, you guys. Y'all don't play when it comes down to asking me questions. Yeah, Bugatti, why you ain't show us nothing about the auto stuff that he actually did negotiate with? Guess what? Boom, I just did it. So you can't say I didn't do it. But you know what? He wasn't they're trying to say that our president was misled. This is something very serious, all right? Next story. They're saying that our president was misled about the danger of the drones. This is something that I thought we would like to see, especially when it comes to defending against drones. We didn't know who sent them, number one. I want y'all to know this. This is very important. No one knows to this date where those drones came from that were flying over New Jersey, the golf course, and now the ones that have been flying over the military bases. Number one thing I'm trying to tell you guys is no one knows where they come from. Number two, the normal measures to take down a drone is to send another drone. I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen two ways. I've seen it happen where a drone would come, a bigger drone, and a net would fall down. And it would grab that other drone and the propellers would stop. And then it would fly off with it, right? And that's one way that they take your damn drone. I got one, so that's why I never fly it. So, all right, number two, the other way that they do it is the drone that they send up has a very strong magnet on it, and it draws the other drone to it because of the magnetic parts inside. Then it captures it and it takes it away. Two measures, right? Just want you guys to know that. Guess what? None of those measures are working on these specific drones. On these particular drones, those measures aren't working. What you talking about, Bugatti? Them measures ain't working. Yeah, so my question is, who made them drones? How they flying without mechanical parts inside? How they not being able to be retrieved? And what the hell is going on? I want you guys to see this damn story because it's crazy. I don't know if anybody else is talking about it, but you know how we do. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get it out. Y'all going to get more. I need you guys to double tap that screen to let people see what's going on over here. We got to make sense of this.
Special correspondent Ross Coulthard. Good morning from Chicago, Ross.
Good morning to you.
We just heard from Brooke, hundreds of these mystery drones seen up and down the East Coast, specifically over military bases. This was before President Trump was sworn into office. His team then came out saying the drones were authorized to be flown by the FAA. But Ross, I have to ask you, was that answer satisfactory? And what do you hope to get from this hearing today?
I'm afraid it wasn't satisfactory, and a lot of people are looking to the president to get a better briefing because whoever told him that these were FAA authorized drones being used for research and other purposes misled the president. And I think that's quite shameful. We now know, because of a 60 Minutes story that was run a few weeks ago, that the Pentagon and the intelligence community are in fact still mystified as to the source of these drones, who's sending them. And they don't even know if they're drones because they haven't been able to recover them. Whatever these objects are, they've been able to evade the normal countermeasures that are used against them, normally some kind of electromagnetic pulse weapon. They haven't been able to bring these objects down. So it's very good to see that this committee hearing is happening today, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the Air Force says about the claims that these drones pose a national security threat.
Yeah, the lack of transparency is scary, but knowing they don't know what it is even scarier. Let's start today with that briefing for the GOP Oversight Committee's investigation into UAPs. Like you mentioned, there are going to be some key players in Washington. Who will they be, and what do you hope to hear from them, Ross?
Okay, well, there's been a spanner in the works. There was meant to be a secure compartmented information facility, a SCIF briefing today, where there were going to be confidential briefings from witnesses to the members of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee.
I wanted you guys to see that other stuff. They're going very technical right now, but we already got what we wanted. We got what we basically heard. You're sending them up. Normally you'd be able to take them down. Y'all saying that y'all actually knew who sent them up there, and you really don't. And you can't get them out the sky? What the hell is going on, and where's that information being taken to? Real quickly, you guys, DJI is a company made in China. They make drones, right? So what's happening is there's been many months right now, or actually a few years, where Congress has been very, adamant about Chinese companies being able to sell us drones. Why? Because when you sell a drone, that's giving you land, that's giving you schematics, that's giving you layout. And guess what? All of that information goes up to the DJI website, and who in China can pull that information and have every single thing that we got going on over here right at their fingertips? Because what? Our drones, your drone, his drone, that person's drone, is basically mapping everything out for them. Never thought about that, huh? Look into DJI, see who basically is the owner of DJI. And y'all got to remember, any Chinese manufactured product is owned partially by the regime. So that, guess what? We can pull information from that. We can pull information off your website from that. You think they're going to tell us? That's the problems that y'all are not thinking about. Always thinking about the retail theft. It's not just the retail theft. It's the IP information that they steal as well. I'm in the comments. Want to know what you guys have to say. Let's keep on going, y'all. Zila says, yep, CCP. Jack is laughing. Well, we got Shuba says, hard Elcar. I don't know what you're talking about. Copious for Democrats. What else we got here? We got Natalie Georgievich. Good morning. Good morning. If you don't like the news, leave, Natalie said. What else we got here? Trump can't even read, says Blow. What we got? Emily says, wrong. Okay, Emily, that's your opinion. John says, hey, nice to see you. Biden, let me do it to us. Okay, it's P. Diddy. Jay, you out of here. Boom, there you go. Boom, nothing else to do but make jokes at this early in the morning. Go do it with somebody else, Jay. See ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya. Hide, boom, out of here. I got to bring this other person back because I made a mistake and got them out of here. I'm sorry about that. Emily says, that was so stupid what you just said. Okay, that's your opinion. What else we got here? We got Natalie says, let me know what he's doing. If he isn't showing the news, then LMAO. Okay, Emily, you're in a cult. All right, Emily, you don't like it here. Let me help you. Boom, out of here. Okay, who else we got? Tony Yu says, at Bugatti NYC. No, we got Natalie again. Oh, we got Tony. Okay, shit, this ain't news. So why you here? Lewis Shuffle. Okay, Tony at Bugatti, do the Ray Lewis Shuffle. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? Nope, not doing nothing on that. Jack says Dumble Dump. Okay, what else we got here? Chad C. They can make drone-free zones. They do it for balloon fiestas in Albuquerque for about 5 years. So who knows what this story is? Not figured out yet. Okay, you guys, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. I want you guys to do me a favor, because when you talk about the Epstein files, when we're talking about drones, when you're talking about hamburgers, when we're talking about Trump, we can't keep a story going. So you guys, let's please try to stay on topic. That's all I'm asking. And do me a favor, if y'all appreciate the content, thank you for the super chat. About to come show you some love for that. Y'all appreciate the content, go ahead and double tap that screen and let more people know that we're over here, because I got so much more in the clip for you guys. It's not even funny. We ain't even halfway through. Want you guys to see what's going on in a somber situation right now in Spain, because they just declared a state of emergency as power is going out all throughout the country, and it's really bad out there. So anybody that's from Spain, any of my Spaniards, want you guys to step up and see what's going on right here in Spain, because it's pretty bad. Hopefully that you guys don't have any family out there that's dealing with this. They're having major issues out there with power. Check this out.
Across Spain and Portugal have been hit by massive power cuts. Trains stopped, planes were grounded, and there was chaos on the roads as traffic lights failed. Internet and mobile phone networks are down. Shops and businesses were plunged into darkness, and there's been panic buying. Well, it isn't yet clear what has caused the blackouts, but a cyber attack appears to have been ruled out. This report from Ellie Price.
Tonight, it's not as dark as many had feared it could be, for this street in Madrid at least.
An hour and a half ago, the light's back, but there are certain neighborhoods in Madrid that haven't done it. It's been a bit of a fearful day, but now it seems that all is over.
But earlier, this was the metro system in Porto.
That's
a similar picture in other big cities as the outage hit Spain and Portugal, as well as parts of southern France this morning.
That's the train station.
Back in Spain, locals helped stranded passengers as trains literally stopped in their tracks. The entire rail network ground to a halt. This one, midway between Seville and Madrid.
Everyone's sort of been so nice, and like anytime anyone's got any food or water, they share it around everyone. So that's been really nice, just kind of that kind of community feeling.
For those who chose to drive, more misery. This is what happened as soon as the traffic lights stopped working. The centre of Madrid quickly grinding to a standstill.
Wow.
I don't understand anything. I just don't know who to turn to. My daughter's in Barcelona about to give birth. We're going to miss the train to get there and see her.
There were flight delays, cancellations and frustrations in both countries, though Lisbon Airport was the worst hit.
currently expecting to have to stay in Lisbon overnight, but I have no idea if I can actually even book a hotel because currently places can't take any payment.
Lack of
so all sorts of stuff going down. The planes are not being able to go up in the air because they can't do the flight, the logistics and stuff with all of the stuff that they got to do with that. The trains are basically stopping because the rails don't got no power. And then when you come out into the community, normal areas that have lights, simple stuff, there's no power. Imagine that. That's called grinding to a screech right there. What's going on in these comments right here? Natalie says it's something strange happening. It sure is, Natalie. Sure is. Dot says, was this power outage a test run? Will it hit the United States? Dot Focus says. Dan says, thanks to Donald Trump. What else we got over here? We got John Smith says, those bandits stealing electricity from the power from the train station lines. They do it in Africa. Okay. You got UNMY. Y'all be having some crazy names. Sounds like a solar flare. Mark says, pay your electric bill. Please double tap that screen, says VIP Auction Group. Double tap that screen because y'all ain't even know about this story. Tell the truth. Y'all ain't know this was going on in Spain. That's how we get down over here. What else you got over here? MD, power was brought back yesterday, bro. People were chilling outside, hanging out. Good, but y'all didn't know what happened, did you? Chad C says, crazy story. We got John Smith says, I'm lucky to have a dependable electric company here in Tennessee. T-Roo says, cool channel, very informative and professional. Thank you so much. Dot Focus says, hit that like button. Kelly says, oh yeah, the grid. Dot Focus says, good morning. Kyle Knapp, Eddie Murphy, double tap that screen. You guys, I appreciate you over there. Thank you guys for assisting. We're trying to let everybody know that we are the #1 show between the 6 o'clock hour in New York and on the East Coast and in New York. I don't know where you guys are chiming in from, but I'm sure they still ain't messing with us over there. Because with me and co-hosts like y'all, they can't mess with us. They can't do it, y'all. Double tap that screen. Let's keep it going because I want you guys to see what's going on in Brooklyn. Okay, everybody from Brooklyn, New York, step to the front of the stage where nothing can happen that you guys don't think it's a bad thing, where you can get ROBBED all the time and they still be screaming, Brooklyn, my happy place. I love it here. I don't know if it's shell shock or what it is, but it is how it is in Brooklyn. Let's keep it going, you guys, because there's a situation that's been an outrage in Brooklyn after a group was captured following and attacking a woman who was mistaken for a protester. These men were throwing rocks at her, kicking at her, all types of stuff. And I'm talking about a big crowd. Imagine if you had a big crowd following you, trying to kick at you, and you got one officer trying to protect you, bringing you inside the store, and it's all over a mistaken identity. This is a very scary story if it could happen to anybody. I'm talking about if this happened to anybody with all of these people behind them, anybody would be nervous after a situation like this. Check this outrage that happened in Brooklyn.
Outrage in Brooklyn after a group was captured on camera following and attacking a woman, appearing to mistake her for a protester. Jenna DeAngelis has the video and reaction from Brooklyn, where a rally was held tonight in a show of support.
A group gathered outside the Barclays Center Monday night.
We're peaceful protesters, you know what I mean? We're coming out to spread awareness.
Organizers say they're rallying in response to this incident captured on video Thursday night in Crown Heights, where a woman was followed by a crowd and attacked.
That was disgusting, you know what I mean? And at the same time, like she said, she wasn't even part of nothing. Just coming down the street.
In the video, you see a large group of men chasing the woman, shouting profanity, kicking her, and throwing objects at her. She spoke with the Associated Press, but asked she not be identified.
And I was just terrified. There's nothing more I can say except that I felt just sheer terror.
It all started.
Damn.
But listen up. You may know me as a musician, actor, devoted father, and husband.
Started near the Chabad Lubavitch headquarters. A visit by Israel's far-right security minister Itamar Ben-Gvir drew in protesters and counter-protesters. The woman said she lives in the neighborhood, heard there was a protest, and went outside to investigate when she was surrounded and threatened.
I moved closer to the police.
See that? That's just like any horror show. White woman, mind your damn business. White people, mind your business. Y'all always want to go investigate. Black people like us, a lot of stuff going on outside. I ain't going out there. Y'all, what's going on out here? Boop, get hit in the head. Now, that's not a racist joke. I'm trying to say it like they do it in comedy with horror films and stuff like that. How there's always like, cha, 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 ah, 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 ah. White woman like, wonder what that noise is. Stab, 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 stab. Black person, same horror flick. Ain't even waiting around to see who it is, right? Come on, y'all.
Police than I already was, and they did nothing to intervene. I tried to leave, and a single officer attempted to escort me home, but this mob followed us. They grew in number. They were screaming at me, "Go back to Palestine."
The officer helping the woman got her into a police car to safety. 6 arrests were made at the protest. Mayor Adams called this despicable. He says the NYPD is investigating a series of incidents from
So what it looked like to me is possibly that was a Jewish rally, and she looked as if to them she were possibly supporting the opposition. So that looks like it possibly was that, and she just happened to wander out into a mob of people that took her identity as being something that is totally not. You guys, if y'all appreciate the content, we got so much more in the clip. That's how we do it every morning. We the #1 channel at this hour. We already know that because I couldn't do it without you guys. Also, we're trying to get up to 40,000 subscribers. We're very close at 30,000. Still got 10,000 to go. He talking about he close. 10,000 more, of course. But why? Hey, why not strive for greatness? We're trying to go to 40,000 subscribers. Only way that we can do that is to ask. And that's what we're doing, the same way we ask for likes. But also, we want you guys to see this next story about these 16 juveniles that got arrested in 48 hours in Baltimore. Officials and people in the neighborhoods are peed off because this is not only in Baltimore. I guarantee you that this is happening in more states. There's no police and there's really no home training, especially when it comes down to teenagers. Gotta be honest. That's before you go out into the world. That's when your parents are supposed to prepare you. And that's where it seems like a lot of this is not happening. Check this out in Baltimore. Anybody from Baltimore, Maryland, I want you guys to step to the front because we want to make sure that we're covering what's going on all throughout the states, not just one city. Be more, here we go. What's going on out there with y'all?
Fox 45's Vincent Hill joins us live with the frustrations from across Baltimore tonight. Vincent, what are you learning?
Well, Kai, one of the people frustrated is the city's top cop, Commissioner Worley. 16 juveniles arrested, most of them back on the street, and one expert says they're probably already reoffended.
Near the West Side Shopping Center in Southwest Baltimore.
Yes, sir, got an armed robbery. Frederick Willard.
Man robbed at gunpoint. The suspects didn't get far.
20, we got 2 in custody.
Baltimore police arresting an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old juvenile. It's one of many juveniles arrested over the weekend, 16 in total, for a long list of crimes, including robbery, handgun violations, and burglary. Like this one at Mary E. Rodman Elementary School Friday night.
20, be advised, it looks like they're dragging a safe out. 2 of them wearing all black hoodies.
Baltimore police say those 2 suspects were 14 and 17 years old.
But you got something that's just, it's really no helping.
According to Baltimore police, 11 of the 16 have been arrested before.
They going around like there's no consequences to nothing they doing right now.
2 have been arrested more than 9 times. 13 of the 16 were taken to the Juvenile Justice Center.
Back when I was coming up, all it took was that belt or whatever.
But 7 of those were released to their guardian. Residents say the numbers don't add up and point to DJS.
Once it's been looked into and see that they got a pattern going on and they just continually breaking the law and doing that, I think it's something, some consequences should be held in regards to.
Commissioner Richard Worley addressing his frustration in a statement saying in part, we cannot arrest our way out of this problem. We need accountability.
That accountability is just like that man said earlier. You need that belt to go to the butt while you're 11 and 10 and 12. Stop all of that. Oh, don't hit the child. Don't spank them. Don't. Let me tell you something. My sister and my brother, when they got older, they went to my mom and were like, you used to spank us a lot. We didn't like that. You were wrong for that. My sister did the same thing, went to my mom and talked to her all bad like that. My mother was in the room one day. She was crying like, oh my God, I feel like I beat my children and I was wrong for that. I'm telling you guys a straight up story about me and my family. I'm pulling the punches right here. I walked into the room. I looked at my mother and she was crying. I said, Ma, thank you. She said, for what? I said, for whooping my ass. She said, for real? I said, if it wasn't for you whooping my ass and keeping me in line, I'll be like them. 5 kids ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Been in jail 7 times. Me, none of that. Thank you. Put the heat on their butt. And guess what she did? Started fixing her eyes, started smiling, and because the one that she really knew that wasn't going to play no games, I was there standing there like, thank you for the ass whippings. Call me what you want, but thank you. I'm in the comments, you guys. What y'all got over here? What y'all got? Smoker, crack rock on stream, bro. Boom, you're out of here, especially when I'm talking about my mama. Because I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. Only get one, yeah. Natalie Georgievich, she made you a man, not a spoiled child. Dot Focus says, hey, how's it going today, Jason? That's what's up. How everybody doing over here, y'all? What's up with everybody? Subaru says, what? Host knows what's up. John T. Sir talk a lot. Jack says, yo, I got beat lots. I'm doing fantastic now. Look at Jack. Look at Jack. Look at Jack. He probably got all types of stuff going on, and everybody rely on him. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Yeah. Factory Reset says scamming. Dot Focus. We need harsher sentences. I got you. But what else we got up in here? Y'all says VIP Auction Group says like, subscribe, and become a member. Super chat to donate, y'all. That's right, y'all. Y'all know what's up. Marcus Hopper says gotcha. That's right. This is happening right now. Yes, it is. Tony Yu says Cassandra, you're free to leave. Dot Focus says W. Cassandra Roper. People are pissed because this country is baked. Hate makes waste. Cassandra's not saying nothing that she can't say. People can say anything that they want up here as long as it's respectful and as long as they're getting their point across. Get her. You don't like what she's saying? Y'all have a debate straight up and down in the comments. Do what y'all got to do, because when they come at me and they don't say nothing crazy, I got to debate them too. When they make jokes about my head, when they said he got the whole world in his head, I had to make up a retaliatory joke to beat that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. We're going to keep it going, you guys. We're going to keep it going, you guys, because you know what? We still got more. We still got more. We still got more. We got this suspect who was served with some paperwork. All they did was go to his crib, knock on the door. They said, look, we got some paperwork that we need to serve you. We're glad that you're home. All we want to do is serve you with this paperwork. He was like, yeah, all right. They turned around and walk away. 9mm automatic with the switch. The fool started shooting at the police. And one of them is no longer with us because he shot him in the head and he's no longer with us. The other police officer, hopefully he's getting out of critical condition. Last I heard, this guy was still held up in his home and they're still trying to get him out. You guys got any updates since then? Please let me know. This is a very serious story. I'm going to click on it right now. You guys appreciate the content. Do me a favor, let's go ahead and double tap that screen and let people know what we got going on over here, because it's a serious situation that happened in Georgia, you guys. Come on, let's go.
The sheriff's office in Columbia County is left shaken after one of their deputies was killed, another hospitalized during a traffic stop that ended in gunfire. And that's where we do want to begin. Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 5.
I want to stop this video right now on purpose. And you haven't been doing it for a while, but I'm doing this on purpose. You guys always say, yo, Bugatti, that jacket look mad tight. Yo, Bugatti, what's going on with your jacket? Whatever. When I wear that blue jacket, right? Because it's a little tight on me because I've been doing 400 push-ups a day. I'm going to get another blue jacket. I'm going to get another one. I know y'all paying attention. I know y'all are. But y'all take a look at this blue jacket and this tie on this brother. I'm talking about that one button that's holding on like somebody trying to hold back a damn. I'm talking about like this. Them buttons on that jacket is like this, trying to hold on right now. And y'all telling me about my jacket? Do me a favor, look at that jacket before I keep this video going. We're not even talking about the tightness of the pants. I wish somebody else would bother me about another button or another jacket that I wear. See this right here? This is the way it's supposed to fit. This is the way a tuxedo is supposed to fit. Your arms go up sometimes when you move your arms. This go up sometime or whatever like that. Yeah, but I could pull it down. Don't mess with me no more about my blue jacket, because I'll go put it on right now. Y'all know I will.
News at 6, I'm Eric Perry. It has been a tough week for law enforcement across Georgia. A second officer killed in less than 10 days and the fourth to be in the hospital by gunfire. Now, this all happened last night just after 6:30 on Interstate 20 in Augusta. That's when sheriff's deputies with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office conducted a traffic stop on a motorhome they say was driven by James Montgomery. It started out, they say, as a routine traffic stop. Investigators say those deputies informed Montgomery he had to be served with a protective order due to a domestic violence incident between he and his wife. We're told he seemed to be okay with that. The deputies turned their backs to walk back to their cruisers to get the paperwork, and that's when they say things turned deadly.
As two of the deputies turned to walk away from the motorhome to go back to their patrol vehicle, Mr. Montgomery produced a 9mm AR pistol.
Damn.
That he had converted into a fully automatic weapon. And he fired on 3 deputies from the sheriff's office.
All right, Deputy Brandon Sykes was killed. A second deputy, Gavin White, was shot in the face. Thankfully, he's alive, but he is in critical condition. We're told he's in surgery on his nasal and facial cavities. They say he's able to communicate and use his movement of his hands and feet. That's the good news here. When it comes to Montgomery, he was believed to still be inside that motorhome. We're working to get more information, but we can tell you there was a pipe bomb believed to be inside of that RV or that motorhome. They're working to learn more, but they do say that suspect is dead. Of course, we'll continue to follow this. We'll have the latest when you join us tonight starting at 10.
Yeah, y'all. So I hear somebody in the comments already said that stuff like this has got to stop, you know, but the sad part about it is, I want you guys to notice something. You got to be real careful when it's matters of the heart. And then what certain men and certain women would do for the love of their children. When they're being served protective orders and things like that, it's still a domestic situation. They might not just lash out at the person that used to be their mate. They could lash out at you because you're the only one there at that time. I want to see what you guys got to say about this. What else you got? What else you got? We got John says there has less tariffs to just they has less tariff too, just not Gina. Okay, 7 just got the prayers up. Natalie says pray for this man's full recovery. Yes, please pray for this man's full recovery. William says this is what happens when you don't follow Jesus. Rena says, holly molly wow. Okay, GA, not everything is a mental health crisis. Most people are fully aware of their actions. Yeah, you're right, GA. Brian says, don't F with my kids. See that, Brian? You see what I'm saying? Some people just don't play. They don't care anymore. They look at it like, you know, I work for my kids. I do this for my kids. Now you telling me I can't see them? F it. And they'll go there. Straight up and down because they don't even care about their lives anymore. John says, just buy local food and stuff, people. Brian says, already do, John. Yeah, you guys are right about that. Also, I didn't even see this story coming up next. I'm not going to lie because I don't like lying. Because what I got to lie for, because they ain't going to jump through the screen and beat me up. I'm going to just be honest about it. This video I'm about to show you guys, I ain't see it before. I don't know what happened in this video. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But I saw the title. I said, wait a minute. Maybe there's something that we want to see. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, Bugatti, you picked another local video. I want you guys to see this because it says this man got attacked by a bobcat while he was turkey hunting. I know the turkeys was over there like, I know they was laughing, right? But yeah, this man got attacked by a bobcat while he was doing some turkey hunting. And I can't see nothing wrong with that. You know, turkeys, stock that people actually hunt, along with other stuff like venison. But yeah, this happened, and I want you guys to see it. Check this out.
It's all over social media. Pictures of an elderly man with blood.
A story now that is all over social media. Pictures of an elderly man with blood on his face, and the good news is he's okay.
But what happened to him has a lot of people talking. Our Shelby Myers caught up with this avid turkey hunter who has quite the story to tell. Shelby.
Oh yeah, Lenise and Cameron. Claude Strother has been hunting turkey since the 70s. But being attacked by a bobcat wasn't something he saw coming. Literally. Now we do want to warn you, some of the pictures in this story are graphic.
It's the fluke deal.
At 82 years old, Claude Strother is going viral.
I always sit by a big tree. This time I didn't. I sat by two little trees about big as your arm, about 18 inches apart.
The die-hard turkey hunter from Selma was calling up a big one on his land in Wilcox County last week when he took a hit from behind.
I set the perfect storm for it. There was perfectly camouflaged in a gap, and all he could see was my head, and all of a sudden, I was knocked over. I turned and reached back. I assumed somebody had hit me with a baseball bat. It was that hard.
Damn.
Dazed me, but there was nothing there. And then I looked back around, and the bobcat was trotting down the road, and it could have been a lot worse.
The bobcat had just missed clawing Strother's eyes, and it did bite into the back of his head. Strother took these selfies to show his family right after it happened. In his nearly 50 years in the woods, this was a first.
He thought I was a turkey. My yipping is real good. And he assumed I was a turkey with a wide head, I guess. So he tried it. I don't blame him at all. I got no grudge against that bobcat. I wouldn't have shot him if he'd have walked up there and let me shoot him.
While Strother, his wife, and their daughter are laughing about the bizarre occurrence now, at the time, Strother did take it seriously and went to the doctor to get checked out. His daughter sharing his story on Facebook.
My dad has so many unbelievable but true stories that it was not surprising.
Strother's daughter says reading the hundreds of comments has helped her dad take his mind off of a tough cancer battle.
I keep books. I got every hunt I've been on since 75. Every one. Whether I kill a turkey or not. And said, looks like he's got a good ending, a good last chapter in his book. So she don't think I'm going to make it. I got other problems. I may not, but hopefully I will.
And as I found out very quickly, nothing, not even a bobcat or a battle with cancer, is going to keep Strother out of the woods.
Next morning, I went to the same spot.
Between the same two trees?
No, I couldn't figure out where they were. I had to I sat by a big tree. I wasn't going to do that again.
I just love.
See, that's why sometimes you just gotta hope that the chips fall where they may. We saw that together, you guys. I always try to make sure that we got good stories as well as the nonsense and what's going on, because we need to have a good day, and it's easy to make yourself feel good. I'm gonna show you a trick right now. This ain't gonna cost you nothing. All you gotta do is do this. Y'all ready? At the count of 3, I want everybody to do what I do. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. See that? That's free. And it make your stomach feel good, don't it? Tell the truth. Smile. Go ahead. Look. Do that. Feel good, don't it? Ha ha. And it's free. So why not feel good about something sometime? Trick yourself. Go ahead and smile. What else y'all got over here? Batty Lynn, she over there smiling. There you go. That's old man is my spirit animal, says GA. What y'all got? Natalie said that just missed getting his eye. He's probably too old to sit in the stand. Guy should get himself a turkey blind. Okay. You know what's going on, Natalie. Bill Andy says, what a great story. Thanks for bringing in that. No doubt, y'all. Dwayne says, have you ever seen Bigfoot? Oh, you talking about Sasquatch from back in the day when he was fighting the $6 million man? Is that the one you're talking about by any chance, Dwayne? Michelle says, that's awesomely adorable. Grateful he's all right. What else you got? Arthur, cats got heart. Everyone makes mistakes, LOL. What else we got? Leo says, left him looking like a turkey, all right. We got Trism that says, hey, FD around and effed around and found out. Natalie says, talk about a good ending. There you go. That's right. That is a good ending. Cuban Coffee says, can't blame the animals. These construction companies keep building all over the damn place. Where the animal's supposed to go? You are so right, Cuban. You are so right. Talking about a bear came into my backyard. How about a human came into the bear's backyard? That damn bear was there first, right, Cuban? Come on, what y'all talking about? A bear came into my backyard. Brian says his turkey call is perfect. Big old turkey, says Casey. There you go. All right, what we got? John Smith says, I can't tell. They hire new employees here in Tennessee this month. Okay, Chill says, damn, Bobcat got his ass. GA says, just glad they weren't separated from their families. Eric says, what kind of news is this? This is the good news, y'all. This is the news that we do every day. This is our bottom line. The number one slot from 6 o'clock until we finish the clip. You guys do me a favor. Y'all trying to make some money, 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 money. Money. Go on over to the description right now. Check out the surveys that's in there. Click that description. Check out the survey. Fill out a survey. See if you can make up to $500. I'll make 25, so we all happy. Right? And then what you do is you send a picture to me so I can show everybody that you made some money. Also, you guys, do me a favor. If you got a business, you might be a mobile barber. You might be an auto detailer. You might do hair. You might do weaves. Do me a favor, you guys, go on and send that flyer over to bridgethisllc@gmail.com. We got this big, large audience here. This is our network, not just mine. So that means I'm going to take your poster, your flyer, and put it up in the post section so everybody here can see it. We've got over 30,000 subscribers. You might be able to get some business. Get that going, you guys. Also, yesterday, we got our confirmation that we did get our first location for the show, Your Talent Search. That's when all 5 boroughs, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, different people come and you show your talent to me, Bugatti, because I'm going to be hosting this talent event. What's going to happen is you come, show your talent, and you could win $250. If you can sing, if you can dance, if you can cook, I don't care what your talent is. We want to see it. And if your talent is better than everybody else's, you win $250 and you win that borough. After all the boroughs have been won, we come together with everybody for one location. That's right, all 5 boroughs, all finalists come together to see if they could win $1,000. So yes, collectively, it's a chance to win up to $1,250. You guys want to enter? That's right, y'all know what to do. I'm always from now on, I'm going to put the flyer up in the thumbnail. You can use the QR code in the thumbnail. Boom! Go right to the website. Send me an email. You've already signed up to be a part of Show Your Talent. What you want to do is tell me your name, your borough, and what you do. And guess what? You're signed up. And next thing you know, I'm going to see you at one of our locations, and you can be the next person to win $250 in cash, possibly $1,000 and be the finalist and make a grand total of $1,250, you guys. That's what we do over here at the bottom line, our bottom line. I want you guys to know it's a fantastic show. Do me a favor, if y'all appreciate the content, y'all want to subscribe, go ahead and share. Let everybody know that we over here. Tap that button. And thank you so much for being a part of the show for today. There's one person that gave up a super chat. I don't care how long it take me. I remember it. I got to go up there and thank that person because of the fact that everything counts, and we appreciate you guys over here. Whoever gave up that super chat earlier, we are thankful for it. I see it right here. Who is that? That is Godmes gave up $2 from Vermont. Okay, God me. Who else here says, let's be real? I support. Thank you guys right there. $2, but we still appreciate it, you guys. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. And like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. Matter of fact, no, we're not going to do that because we messed up yesterday. You know what I want you guys to do? Thank you so much for the $10 from Rob. Thank you so much for the like. We appreciate that, Rob. Just so you know, we look at $10 like it's 1,000 because we know it's rough out here and we appreciate you. I want y'all to hear me real strong when I say this. I don't look at those numbers like what it is. I look at those numbers for what the economy is and the fact that you ain't have to give me a damn thing. So I appreciate that. $10, $2, whatever it is, I appreciate you guys and thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. And what I want you to do is also, you see the way it was easy to smile and make yourself feel better? I want you guys to keep doing that. I want you to go outside today and be happy no matter what goes on, whatever weapon is formed against you, because God woke you up today. And you got a chance to do better tomorrow and moving forward. So stay strong, stay happy, smile for no reason. All the haters, laugh at them and keep on moving and being positive, right? Smile, stay happy. That's my gift to you, and it's free. Also, I'm gonna say it again, and that's how we close it up. Y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, same time, same station, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. Get him! One. Y'all have a good day. Peace.